Global smartphone shipments fell 11% in the second quarter to their lowest level for the period since 2013. That's according to early estimates from Counterpoint Research, which said a memory chip shortage has driven up smartphone prices and dampened demand. Memory chip prices have soared as suppliers prioritize AI data center customers over consumer electronics, forcing smartphone makers to pass along higher costs through price hikes, particularly for entry and mid-range devices. Among the world's top 5 smartphone companies, mid-tier firms Xiaomi, Oppo, and Vivo posted the steepest declines. Apple and Samsung, however, bucked the downward trend. Samsung reclaimed the top spot with a 24% share of the smartphone market, while Apple took its global market share to a record 20% in the quarter. And while the memory chip shortage has hurt many smartphone makers, it has helped the chip suppliers. South Korea's SK hynix, one of the largest memory chip makers, debuted on the Nasdaq last Friday after its shares in South Korea rose more than sevenfold over the past 12 months. Meanwhile, shares of its American rival Micron Technology soared nearly 650% over the past year. That's made many investors bullish on both stocks, says Ross Mayfield, investment strategist at Baird Private Wealth Management.
The reality is the demand for memory is so large and so bottlenecked that both companies are in tremendous positions, have tremendous margins, tremendous pricing power. And while there are slight differences, you could really take or pick either and probably be very satisfied over the coming, year or two as an investor.
But the investor euphoria cooled on Monday as shares of Samsung, SK hynix, and Micron all tumbled amid a broader market sell-off.
After going through a breakup and what she called a quarter-life crisis, Samantha Stobo was ready to leave New York City and figure out her next step.
My mom actually pitched the idea. She had recently moved to Miami. She pitched the idea of me coming and moving in with her temporarily while I figured out where I wanted to live, what I wanted to do for work. And then it kind of just spiraled and snowballed into 4 years later, and I still live with her.
The duo agreed on a set amount of rent Samantha pays and the living situation, which she chronicles on TikTok for her over 20,000 followers, and says it's made them closer than ever.
She is privy to a lot of information in my life, which makes her a really good sounding board, a really good confidant, a really good just like best friend. But I do remember at the beginning when I moved in, trying to navigate household chores, household responsibilities, who pays for what.
It's a growing trend. Last year, 49% of adults under the age of 30 lived with a parent, up 12% since 2019.
Home prices jumped almost 50% from 2019 to 2024, while incomes only went up 22%. So your kid is running twice as hard, basically, just to stay in the same spot. That's not a work ethic issue of kids going back home. It's a macroeconomic issue.
Casey Wright decided to move back in with her parents after 2 consecutive layoffs.
It made sense for me to be able to figure out how to get back on my feet and find a new job. And then it kind of just ended up me staying around longer than I expected it to.
Now, 3 years later, she's been able to make a dent in her student loans and save towards a down payment, while also helping her parents around the house.
My parents are older, so I am able to help them in their older years with stuff that they maybe can't do as much. It's been mutually beneficial for both me and my family.